So I tried to tell y'all about Manscaped a while ago, but you didn't listen. This stopped being about nuts a long time ago. Manscaped is for your overall grooming experience, for your overall hygiene experience. Now we have the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. You can look all up in this little box right here that Manscaped provided for me, and you be like, well, Voch, if this is supposed to be a top tier beard trimmer, where's all the guards, Voch? How do I adjust the length for my beard? Let me tell you something, man. Manscaped is pushing the envelope. They have an internal beard length adjustment trimmer. This has 20 different notches on it for 20 different lengths. And just look, come on, bro. That's 20 different notches. So whether you got a beard like me or a beard like Law Nation, we got something for you. Easy to clean. You pop this thing right off, clean it up, pop it right back on. And it is waterproof anyway, so it shouldn't be getting super duper dirty anyway. Inside of this kit, man, we have beard conditioner, beard balm. We have a beard shampoo and a beard oil. One day my beard's gonna get thick enough to use some beard oil, but you get a free gift that comes with this package. You get a beard brush, a beard comb, and beard scissors. So when you do have that big, thick, long beard, you just want to make those small adjustments, right? Manscaped sends you some beard scissors on the house. You can't beat this deal with a stick. So listen, man, go get you one of these, man. Use promo code VOCH20 for 20% off and free shipping, and they ship internationally. Listen, man, it's normally your balls will thank you, but we got beard trimmers, so now your beard will thank you, your face will thank you. We're gonna stick with beard. Your beard will thank you. Okay, let's get started, y'all. First of all, appreciate y'all for being here. Love y'all so much. This whole week, instead of going live, I'm just going to make a video about what I would be going live about, just to kind of prep ourselves for training camp. I just want to give a good deep dive on this roster. I want to use these 5 days, Monday through Friday, to talk about 5 position groups, okay? And I'm not going to talk about every position group, because why the hell y'all need me to talk about Cooper Rush? You just don't. And you know, maybe we'll save like the running back conversation for another day. But one day I want to talk about pass catchers, you know, wide receivers and tight ends. O-line get their own day, of course, because I'm biased. D-line gets their own day because I'm biased. Linebackers, because I think that's a pretty interesting group to touch on. And then one day we're just going to dedicate ourselves to DBs, okay? So like I said, I'm just going to let my bias show. We're going to talk about O-line today. I got my depth chart pulled up right here. If y'all want to follow along, I'm gonna put some depth chart stuff on the screen. But if y'all want your own, you know, copy of it, go to ourlads, OURlads.com, and you know, search Cowboys, and that'll give you the depth chart or the projected depth chart that I'll be looking at. Okay. Also, I got 4 little categories right here that I'm just going to touch on every single episode as the weeks go on here. I have versus last year. So this group that we're talking about this year versus the group of that same position last year. Did we get better? Did we get worse? Camp battles. I'm just going to go up and down the list and say, hey, who's against who? Who's against the new guy? I'm going to talk about some of the dynamics of going against new guys, because sometimes it's not about going against somebody that's as good as you or close to as good as you. Sometimes you're, you know, like a 3rd or 4th year player that we know what we're getting versus this new dude that we're trying to build, and we've made this draft investment in, and you know, we're just trying to build that character, and maybe we think the upside of this dude is better than what you can be. That's going to be a fantastic conversation when it's time to talk about some of those. Roster projections, right? Who ain't making this damn team? That's all. It's not fun to talk about, right? Because you know, some of these dudes, it's pretty fun to talk about, right? Because there's a lot of dynamics that go into it, and it really ties into the last category, because now practice squad gets involved. Why these guys are going to make the roster, right? Just different little things like that. Can you play teams? And special teams is a monster. So roster projection is so important when we're talking about this, you know, forecasting and things like that. And then we're finally going to talk about the depth chart. You know, who's going to be the starting guy? Who's going to start over some other guy? Where are these guys going to line up? Stuff like that. It should be fun. But we're going to start with offensive line today. Boom, boom, because I am biased. Okay. So I'm pretty on record of giving you my thoughts about what the offensive line should be. You know, the line that makes sense to me. There shouldn't be a world where Tyron Smith is your first right tackle, or Terence Steele should be playing left guard, or any nonsense like that. I think the Cowboys are going to get this one right. It should be 77, 73, 63. Kratos number, yeah, Kratos is 70, and then Terence Steele 78 being the right tackle. That should be the group. That should be the list, right? But I did present the question or the idea to social medias and different podcast outlets, you know, that I'm friends with. What if Matt Waletzko shows up and he kills it in camp and he shows you that he's a capable starter? What do? You know, do you continue to live by the rule that, all right, when Tyron goes down, we'll just move Tyler out there? Is it a world where you keep Tyler at guard and just move Waletzko at left tackle? It's interesting. Me personally, I think Tyron Smith is a guard, but I think he showed you that he can play tackle. Now, if you're one of those people that want to live in the world to where you think it's hard to get offensive tackles, good left tackles, or you think left tackle is more important than guard, then fine, by all means, you know, put Tyler at tackle because you know he could play and just find you a guard. I understand that line of thinking. I'm also of the mindset of overkill. I love some good overkill. If we got Zach Martin at one guard and Tyron Smith at another guard, oh my! Did you hear what I said? You can really boogie there. You can really make some damage with those two dudes at guard. Just figure out what you're gonna do at tackle. Now, I think the Cowboys plan on Tyron Smith being the tackle for the future. And that's perfectly fine. If you go to the Dallas Cowboys behind the scenes war room conversation in Draftland, the conversation was Mozzie Smith versus Bergeron. Matthew Bergeron. It's been a minute and he's not a Cowboy, so it's hard to keep up with all the draft picks. I think Matt Bergeron, yes. It was between those two guys, and Matt Bergeron was another left side player that played left tackle at Syracuse, but could play left guard for you. So in the league, Bergeron probably a left guard. So in my mind, the Cowboys were open to the idea of adding left guard, but we ended up drafting Austin Richards later. He's another guy that's going to be in this conversation for the O-line room. Not this year, but he'll be in the O-line conversation at some point. So now we have to ask ourselves, how much did Matt Waletzko improve, right? If Matt Waletzko went crazy and that peanut butter started kicking in and he's strong as hell and he's using his length good and them feet looking good, man, Waletzko can really make things strange for you, because now you're in this world where all your best players play tackle for you, right? Let's just say starter level Waletzko, right? Terence Steele, Tyron Smith for however many weeks until he stops playing, and then Tyron Smith. You're in this world where, all right, y'all, one of y'all got to play guard, right? We just can't be in this situation where, all right, Tyler, can play guard, but we're gonna politic our way into making him play left tackle because we seen him play left tackle good for a little bit. Man, look, Tyler got to play guard because I just don't know how I feel about Fournier playing guard. I don't know how I feel about, man, Josh Ball probably gonna be in Jacksonville somewhere. Like I don't know how I feel about Austin Richards or Chuma Edoga playing guard right now. TJ Bass playing guard right now. So my best five simply just have to be if Waletzko is starter level. My top five still got to be, okay, Tyron goes down, we just move Waletzko right in at left tackle and we just continue to play Tyron Smith at guard for the rest of the year. That's just what makes sense to me. Because man, I'm not moving on from Terence, man. Terence has proven himself, right? You don't want to be in this world to where, you got capable starters and all these dudes can play and they good, and offensive line around the league is terrible, but you looking at your capable offensive line room going, nah, let's just move on from Terence Steele. That's madness, man. But if I had to guess or just make the assessment of which O-line room is better, this year's or last year's, it got to be this year, right? You've got to say that we've gotten better at offensive line. Tyron, assuming he's all right, but Tyron Smith at left tackle got to be better than Tyron Smith at right tackle. The idea that Tyron Smith gets to be 1 year better, Biotis gets to be 1 year better, Terence Steele gets to be back and he's 1 year better. We're not dealing with some Jason Peters situation. We're not. Man, Connor McGovern can go and never come back. You know what I mean? So you would have to say that this year's offensive line is better than last year's offensive line. And if we get some positive things from Matt Waletzko, then hey, man, we're going to go party, man. In terms of camp battles, it's the guard battle, right? Because when we talk about where Tyler plays, it's not about where Tyler's best at. It's about the hole that Tyron leaves behind, right? So if Tyron Smith gets hurt, Tyler is either playing guard or tackle. So now you got to ask your question: do you feel more comfortable with Waletzko at tackle or Fournier at guard? That's what this is really about, right? That's what it's about. And if you ask me, I'm assuming that Waletzko is going to be the better player than Fournier. Fournier is going to be the emergency interior swing guy. Austin Richards is not ready. They got faith in Chuma Edoga. Voch does not.
It's false.
Voch does not have faith in Chuma Edoga. Yeah, he'll have to show me. I mean, I haven't seen him. Still haven't seen him. Don't know the guy. But in my mind, what gives me the best opportunity is that if Tyron goes down, then you just move Waletzko in, and there's not this battle for left guard here, because that's the only camp battle that I'm seeing. I don't foresee Josh Ball being here. So the weird thing about it is that Austin Richards plays guard. Austin Richards also plays tackle, but Austin Richards is a rookie, right? Austin is probably the most versatile out of all these offensive linemen. You know, I've heard that the front office thinks that Fournier could play all 5 positions. That's cute, but I've seen Austin Richards play these positions, right? Like you can look at his North Carolina film and you can see him on film playing these positions and playing them pretty well, right? So for this year, maybe it'll be Fournier, but the battle is going to be who's the backup versatility dude. And to be fair, we can live in a world where both these dudes are backup versatility dudes, right? It's just that at this point, and that's why training camp hasn't happened, the Cowboys just don't know what Austin Richards is yet. They don't know if he's a guard or a tackle, but they foresee him being in the top 10 guys group. And the same for Fournier. So both those guys can exist. Alec Lindstrom, we'll see. TJ Bass is a guy that I think is talented enough to be in the fight, but he could be a practice squad candidate. I don't know. We'll see. Bosty gonna have to show me. And Chuma Edoga is a guy that I think he's here just for training camp depth. You know, for camp depth. I don't think Chuma Edoga's gonna be good. And as far as the depth chart, I explained it earlier. And look, the only reason I've gone over depth chart earlier, because I mean, that's just what the mess around the street was. You know, will Tyron play right tackle? Will Terence play left guard? And I kind of explained all this within one go of that. So hopefully there's no nonsense at play here. But the depth chart should be pretty much set. Now, if anything happens to Terence Steele, let's just say Terence Steele isn't ready. Who's the first man up? Is it Josh Ball or Waletzko? I think Waletzko wins that fight and Josh Ball goes. That's another conversation about Waletzko, right? That we had to figure out during training camp. What side is Waletzko better on? Is he better at left side or right side? He can play both those tackles. Is it going to be a situation where Waletzko is a true tackle? I talked to Pat Walker, and they said that, he said that they were looking at Waletzko as a swing tackle. It's interesting because last year we didn't use the swing tackle idea. We just used the backup left tackle and the backup right tackle idea. So we'll have to see what goes on there. But besides that, everybody else they're kind of going to be like Alex Taylor, Alex Taylor can make some noise, right? Yeah, Brock Hoffman can make some noise. You know what I mean? I'm not really gonna go that far, but that's my offensive line commentary. We're gonna move on and talk about some other positions. Let's jump straight into D-line. We ain't talking about that. Next episode, we're talking about D-line. Let's do it.
KD Beats.